What is up? My name is Lloyd. This is the middle card, which are my takes on the world of professional wrestling and all its ins and outs. So let's go.
Round one. Fight.
So I guess he was always Mr. McMahon. I guess that's what we learned here. The Vince McMahon that we saw on TV was always Vince McMahon. Now, what they always tell you is that when it comes to wrestling, basically the character is always yourself, but turned up to an 11. So it is based on some sort of reality when the audience is able to connect with you. When people are able to feel what it is that you're doing, it is always based on some sort of reality. So some part of you is involved in that character, and that's where I'm going with that. But as reported by the Wall Street Journal, the WWE Board is now investigating Vince McMahon for a $3 million hush money settlement that he made to a former employee because of a sexual relationship that he had with them. So I'm not going to get into all the ins and outs of the settlement because I think there's a lot more details to be revealed, and as has been discovered, there are more NDA settlements that Vince has paid out over the years, and not just him, also Johnny Ace. And I can't wait for those Johnny Ace memes to come out. You know what I mean, because they're all gonna be like, "Hey Johnny, tough break. It's a budget cut thing." Because he's for sure is going to have to step down. Now what is this going to mean for Vince? There's two ways to look at it. First way, as far as his role as the CEO of the WWE. Now you would think logically that he would have to step down or he would be voted out. But that's not the case, because I think Vince has the majority of the voting power. He has the majority of the shares. Therefore, he can outvote anyone in order to stay on as the CEO of the WWE. Now, if his involvement in the WWE as the CEO, if it happens to cause the company's stock to trend downwards, then I think he would probably have to step down. But I'll counteract that by saying, well, I don't mean to bring politics into this, but there was a former president who had allegations of sexual misconducts outside of his marriage. I believe this was even possibly before he was voted into power, and he was still elected and still beloved by a large population of people. And if he runs again in, I think it's 2 years, has a good shot of being voted back in. So what that means to me is, as far as Vince goes, as long as he's still making money, people are not going to have a problem. So in that sense, I don't think his role is going to change all that much. It depends on how bad it gets, but he can veto this, and with time, people just may move on. Where I think the biggest change is going to come is backstage. Can Vince McMahon actually go backstage and he sit behind in the gorilla position, and can he actually continue to do his job and have people follow him the same way that they used to, faithfully and loyally, and not look at him any different? I think in that case, that's where you're going to see the change. Because how can he be back there with people looking at him a certain way now? Are people actually going to follow his direction? Are people going to be afraid now of the consequences, like a Sasha and Naomi? And would he actually have the gall to go and pull something like that once again if people stepped out of line. So I think the leadership aspect, as far as the creative goes, that's where we're going to see the biggest change. So from a corporate level, we probably won't see much change there, even though I've long said Vince McMahon should be in a consultation role. He should be a senior consultant, he should be an advisor, and he should let somebody else run the creative who would be more in touch with today's audience. Not to say that he doesn't have value, but should he be in charge and as far as connecting with fans and presenting something that people want to see. All of that being said, in conclusion, I don't think it will be the end of Vince the businessman, but the change that people maybe want to see in creative may be coming. It may be time for the NXT 3.0. Maybe it's time for NXT Retro. Maybe the creative directions that people want to see with their favorite wrestlers may actually happen, where it's based on merit. Maybe the Ricochets will get a chance finally. Maybe Sami Zayn, who is awesome, will be put into a more prime role. Things that we've always wanted to see, we may actually get to see them in the near future, because this might be the undoing of Vince's role as the creative aspect of the WWE. Are we all ready for that? After all these years, maybe it's time for a different voice in the room. Let's go.